Hello there, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a release day for the Rabbit Hole Designs, and I'm super excited because there's a lot of great products. So let's take a look at what we're using today. Today we're going to be using the Rabbit Hole Designs Caffeinated Bear, and I love their caffeinated line. So fun. This one has some really cute sentiments. Barely awake and barely conscious before caffeine. And I'm also going to be using this really pretty stencil. This was released last month called Twisted Sunshine. I'm going to stick that down over some slate cardstock. This is some slate cardstock by Brutus Monroe, and I have trimmed that down to about, I think it's 4 inches by 5.5 inches. And I am going to tack down my stencil just using some washi tape. And then I'm going to grab some Distress Oxide ink in the color Shaded Lilac along with my Vivace Beauty brush. And I love the way the Distress Oxides look on dark cardstock. So I'm just going to sponge that all over that background. It doesn't look like much right now, but when I peel that stencil back, you're definitely going to see it. And it's really, really pretty. I'll just make sure that I've gotten all those flowers covered. And take a look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, now I'm going to move, I cleaned off the stencil, I'm going to move it down, and I'm going to use some Post-it tape to tack down just the part that I want to cover with some Nuvo Glimmer paste. Y'all know I am obsessed with some Glimmer paste recently, and you grab a stencil and I'm like, let's do some Glimmer paste. So I'm going to use the color Tanzanite Lavender. This stuff is so, so pretty. And you can tell I'm going with a theme here. I've got some purples. So I went with that Shaded Lilac and now this Tanzanite Lavender, and I'm just going to put that all over that area right there. Take the excess and put that right back into the bottle, and then I'll cover that up with my press and seal, peel away the stencil, and clean up my mess. And take a look at that. Looks really cool. I love how it looks on the background, and then we have that Tanzanite Lavender on top. It's just so shimmery and so pretty. All right, now we'll move on to our stamping. So I've pulled out that caffeinated bear, and she may be my spirit animal. I say that about all of them though, because the narwhal may actually be my spirit animal. So I'm inking that up with Memento Tuxedo black ink because I am going to do some Copic coloring. And then I'm going to start doing the coloring, and I've chosen a purple theme. We're still going with the purple theme. And if you have ever watched a lot of my videos in the past, you will know that I have a purple robe. So of course I had to color this bear's robe purple. So I'm putting all the colors up on the screen. It was V01 and now we're coming in with V15. I was trying to match my purple robe the best that I could. And it's funny because I've had people tell me like, you were crafting in your robe, weren't you? Yep, sure was. I will sit there in the mornings and do my crafting with my robe on. Happy Cassie. With a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, depending on how tired I am, and just craft away. So yeah, if you look careful enough, you will definitely see that purple robe in quite a few of my videos. All right, now I'll move on to the trim of the robe after I get a little bit more of that V15 down. And then I am going to come in with those colors, which is RV52. I want it to be still a little bit purple, but a little bit more on the pink side. And then I'll come back in with that V01 and just add a little bit of shading to the trim. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then we'll move on to coloring the coffee cup. I don't know why I chose blue, but I chose B37. And then my darker shade is going to be B39. And as you can notice, I don't always go to the edges. I've said this before. Typically when I don't go to the edges, it's because I'm trying to give the illusion of a rounded surface, or and actually it just seems like I'm really used to just not coloring all the way to the edge. I'll put down my one base color, and then when I come in with my shades, I just don't seem to go to the edges. Usually it's because the image is a rounded image, but I suppose not always. So all right, I'd forgotten about his little legs down there, so I'm coloring those. And then I'll come in with C6. So I started with C5. I thought I'd make a little black bear. That just seemed to match. And I'm using the cool grays. That just matched really well with that cool purple color. And then I'm going to come in with some C8. So that's a pretty dark color. But I'm being very sparing with that C8. very sparing. And then I'll come back in with my C6 and blend that out just a little bit. And those eyes, you definitely have to make sure that they have the dark circles under the eyes. Coming back in with my C4. Blending it out really well. And I don't mind that there are some, not harsh lines, but that there is some good contrast in the color. And then I, like I said, almost completely forgot about the legs. So I'm coming in there and just shading and shadowing those. So yeah, now I suppose y'all are going to be looking for that purple robe, aren't you? The nose is R11 along with the ears. And then I'd forgotten to color the little bunny slippers, so we're doing the V01 along with the V15. And then we'll come in and just blend that out and then grab that R11 once again for the nose and the ears of my little bunny slippers. I don't actually own any bunny slippers. I have little black slippers that everybody in the family calls ninja slippers because they look like little ninja shoes, I guess. I don't know. So I suppose I should maybe take a ninja class. All right, I'm going to grab my Sakura number 8 Jelly Roll pen and just put a couple of highlights. And then for the sentiments, I have grabbed out some Brutus Monroe Raven cardstock. I'm going to use my magic powder bag over that to make sure that I don't have powder sticking to places I don't want it to. I'll wipe away the excess with my Nuvo brush, ink up my sentiments with my Versamark ink, close the door of my Misty, and then pull that out and cover those with the Alabaster embossing powder by Brutus Monroe. It's a very good detail embossing powder. So when you have small sentiments, it typically does a very good job of hitting all the little nooks and crannies of those small sentiments. For my base, I'm going to use some Brutus Monroe Not Your Mama's heavyweight cardstock. I found one more piece. This is it, folks. So I'm waiting for more to come in. And then I am going to start piecing things together. So I did hit this with my heat tool. It was redundant because it was dry, but for whatever reason, I guess I just feel like I need to make sure it's dry. And then I'll just touch it and make sure. And I'll use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere down my panel to my card base. And this will leave just a small border on my left and right hand side. And then I do have a little bit of excess on top, and I will trim that away later. My foam tape is some Arteza foam tape. This is, I think, pretty new to the store. But this stuff, I've just been using it to try and see what I think of it. And so far, I like it. I like that it cuts easy and the backing paper comes off very easily. It doesn't tear like some foam tapes do, but I think this works really nicely. The only downside is that the backing to that foam tape, the release paper, if there is some static, which I got some static going on here, it will stick to your hands. It rolls up and you have a heck of a time trying to get it to come off. So I assume in the summer it's going to be fine. But for now, just peeling off, I'm trying to get it off my fingers and it just keeps sticking. But I suppose if that's the worst problem I have, we're doing okay. All right, and then I'll tack down the last sentiment up top. And because I have those sequins that sometimes get stuck in the bags, I'm going to grab out some purple and pink ones. I love these flatback sequins. They're so pretty. And I'll stick 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Just, rule of threes. Using my crystal katana along with that Nuvo Deluxe glue, I will now adhere all those pieces down. I sometimes like to stick the sequins just kind of underneath those sentiments. And yeah, you can hear that jingling in the background, I'm sure of it. My cats have gone nuts. They are just running through the hallways. And they have those jingle bells, so I know where they are. For the inside of the card, I'm just going to take the little bear, ink it up with that shaded Lilac Distress Oxide ink, and stamp that down. And then that's actually going to finish off our card. So like I said, this is a part of a new release, so I'll have my blog linked down below. And if you'd like to check that out, head on down to my blog, get all the details for this release. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for stopping by and leaving comments and love and thumbs upping and all that jazz. You guys are amazing. And I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye.